Good morning. My name is Tina Louise Spalding and I am a trance channel. Good morning, subscribers. Beautiful May Day here in Canada. I've been doing some readings from my book Great Minds Speak to You. This book right here, Great Minds Speak to You. You'll see all of the famous people. So this book was channeled in May of 2013, and I'm reading some excerpts from this book to show you the depth and meaningfulness of these messages. It's very easy with our celebrity-drenched culture to look at a cover with celebrities on and think, oh, this is just more of the same bullshit, really. But these messages are profound and at times very moving. And it was a beautiful opportunity, and I was very honored to bring this book through. But I'd like to read a few excerpts so that you can get a taste of the kind of messages that are in the book. There's a lot of wisdom from a lot of lives lived, and so I thought I'd share some with you. Today I'm going to read a short excerpt from Princess Diana. You've seen me channel her on the YouTube channel, but I'm going to read this original transmission that she gave me a couple of years ago. I'm here to share with you my story. It is a dramatic one. It is a life-altering one for all who read it. You know who I am. You know I was in this incarnation. You know who I was in this incarnation on Earth. I was Princess Diana. I was this icon. I was this icon of beauty, of compassion, of innocence, the icon who was corrupted and transformed through the process of marriage and indoctrination into a culture that was very unhealthy and very dangerous for me. And it ended in my ultimate demise in a dramatic and brutal way. I was very distressed when I arrived on this side. I had been badgered and brutalized in a way that was very difficult to experience. When you are not able to live even the smallest experiences in your life in peace, you become very agitated. You become very distressed by the smallest decisions you have to make. Just walking out of the door becomes an exercise in terror. Choosing an outfit for the day becomes an exercise in overwhelmment. Deciding where to go to dinner becomes an exercise in distressing confusion. As you pass through time experiencing these things, your mind becomes very agitated and there is no peace. You try to make decisions based on what you want to do, but there are so many forces at your throat, at your heels, pushing at you and grabbing at you, tearing at your spiritual and material clothing, that you develop a life that is quite hellish in nature. Many of you see pictures of me sitting on yachts and wearing beautiful clothes. But these are snapshots in time that do not represent the experience I had. They do not represent the torment I went through and the internal anguish that was, for the most part, my experience. You get these glamorous images of hair and makeup and jewels and think, wow, what a life that would be. What a life that would be to live. To have those beautiful things. But truly, they do not mean anything. The love of my children was the most amazing thing I experienced in my life. It was a dream, I suppose, when it all began, a wonderful time, but it turned very quickly with the paparazzi, the newspaper hunters, the stories, and the regimentation of the life inside that royal prison. It turned very quickly into a hellish experience, and it was only toward the end of my short life that I began to make a break for my freedom. I could not break free from the oppressive nature of the British press or the reporters all around the world who dogged me at every turn. I tried to focus on humanitarian things. I tried to focus on projects that would help people, that would heal people, but I was brought to the end of my life by this voracious machine you call celebrity. This book is very powerful in its message, in its premise, which is that celebrity is a curse these days. Celebrity is a prison that is inescapable in some way. This is, of course, why you see many of us die young in violent or depressingly sad ways because of this curse of celebrity. My experience through the last months of my life was beginning to shine a little light in my heart. I was beginning to fall in love. I was beginning to express myself in a new way. But the night I died, the rabid pack of wolves that followed me was a terrifying experience. And as we sped through the night, as we sped through this tunnel of clamoring and clawing beings, we lost control and we lost connection, and we spun out of that reality into this new one. My passing was not distressing in the sense that I was confused. I knew what had happened. I was aware of life after death. I was aware that I was passing through into another existence, but the trauma of the accident was very distressing to my mind on a physical level. Because we are both physical and spiritual beings, the physical body, when traumatized in such a way, sets up a wave of energy that is quite distressing to experience. Although the pain is not what you would imagine it to be, your mind leaves your body quite quickly in those circumstances, and you are relieved quite quickly of the physical pain. But there is trauma, a jolting, a ripping away of the life force contained within the physical body. It is like being put into a slingshot. That was my experience. It was like being put into a slingshot and shot at high speed. A form of spiritual whiplash occurred, and I was a little disoriented, but I became aware very quickly of where I was going and where I was leaving. My heart wrenched at the thought of leaving my children, of course, as all mothers would understand. That was my only regret, really, despite the outward appearances of beauty, opulence, and lavishness, which of course I did experience. But that was not rewarding in the way that you might imagine from your ordinary life, observing that kind of experience. After my passing, I began to feel the wave of love that came at me from all of the beings on the planet. I became aware of the misperceptions I had been laboring under as I felt this massive outpouring of heartbreak, of passion, of love. I had been immersed in a mind that was very judgmental and self-loathing on many levels, and I had no idea of the love with which I was viewed. I had no idea of the connections and the mental and emotional communion I shared with so many beings on this planet. It is that love that this channel is feeling now, and she is overwhelmed with that energy. That indeed is what I experienced when I passed over. She goes on for a few more pages, beautiful, speaking about the work that she does from spirit. She works with children, and that channeling experience was very powerful. I cried through a lot of it, and the original recordings of these sessions can be purchased at channelingjesus.com. There's about 9 or 10 hours of the original channelings for this book, so you can purchase the original soundtrack if you want, or the book of course is available on Amazon.com. Thank you for listening. It's a great honor to do this work and to share these messages with you. They have transformed my life. I no longer watch Entertainment Tonight and those shows because many of the celebrities in this book talked about the celebrity machine consuming them and really affecting their energy. So that's something to think about. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.